most gym owners hate sales because they're doing it all wrong. They're coming at sales from a completely wrong angle. I have shared countless sales training within the Gym Owner Network, which is our mentorship program for gym owners, where I have seen firsthand taking gym owners struggling to make sales at 50, 60 quid a month to being able to close 20, 30 front-end offers a month at over £400. These systems are tried, tested, and I've taught them to over 250 gym owners across 15 different countries. Who am I? Why should you listen to me? My name is James Robinson. I've co-founded 3 successful fitness businesses. I mentor over 200 gyms that I've seen successfully transform and add over £180,000 in annual revenue to their business. These systems are tried, tested, and I'm going to share with you today a few frameworks to transform your sales. Let's dive deep, shall we? Sales is one of the funniest things in the game, and far too many gym owners don't recognize the journey that a lead has to go through prior to you making sales. When we talk about anything within Gym Owner Network, it always comes back down to our model. And our model is beautifully simple and it's structured, and it's how we use this to coach hundreds of gym owners within our mentorship program. And in order to have a high profiting gym, that's a bunch of pound signs, we're going to look at it as, okay, marketing. What are the things we are going to do to bring high quality leads into the business? And something that's really important here is, how good is our message? What is our message saying, and who are we attracting? If you have a high-end personal training business selling small group personal training, but your marketing keeps attracting kinds of people who keep going, well, that's really expensive, I only train at Pure Gym. Guess what the problem is? You're making an offer to people that you're attracting through the wrong lens, which means your marketing is wrong. So typically you want to think about, how can you piss off 80% of people or push away 80% of people to only find the top 20% of people who would actually buy your stuff, who would resonate with buying a personal training product. So the vehicle that they go through from a marketing standpoint to see your brand, be aware of your brand, feel aligned to your brand, start to trust your brand, and then want to buy from your brand, all sits here, which then comes onto this other side, which is sales. And what's really important is, what is your offer? What is the compelling offer that you have that is going to attract these people? What is it that these people want to see and hear and notice and buy into and trust for them to go and press go on inquiring, press go on buying? So this thing here, this marketing alignment message offer, is all really important to invoke a call to action to then jump onto a sales interaction. So of course we're going to go deep into what selling is and how it all works, but from a framework, it's important to understand the journey that a lead has to go through for them to even speak to you on the phone. This offer, we need to then understand who is doing the selling, what are we selling, and how are we delivering it. These things are vital to be able to really believe in the offer, all right? Something that we've done so well within the Gym Owner Network is taking gym owners who are fearful of selling something at £400 or £500 for a 4-week trial. They're fearful of, like, why would anyone pay that? And we've taken them through frameworks, giving them tools, systems that can justify the value. And I often get messages from gym owners going, I can't believe I just sold that. It felt so good. It was easier than selling a £60 a month membership. And that's when you realize this shit works. Once we nail this, and something within the Gym Owner Network is, we give you an entire structure to see what the perfect 6-week challenge might look like to get great results and to turn them into great clients. Once you do that, basically what should happen is that perfect 6-week trial should be a red carpet of onboarding. Once you've made the sale, onto then your product, which is typically what happens on and off the floor. Now, we can dive deep into all of this at another stage, but what's really important is, if you want to crush sales and master sales, we're going to make sure that you understand what it is you're offering and why it's so important. Typically, when it comes to gym sales, people care about the outcome, okay? What is the outcome that we want to achieve? What is the destination? Because that's all they really want to know. They don't care about the process. far too many woke gym owners who have been coaches for a long period of time. They want to sell the journey. It's like the journey is all that matters. Trust the process, trust the process. Half the time, people don't give a fuck about the process. They just want an outcome. They just want to look better. They just want to feel better. What we need to do is we need to be able to come from a place where it's like we can sell the outcome and then coach the process. But they are completely two opposite ends of the spectrum. This is what you sell. After they buy, then you can go and be a woke ass coach and get double down on the process. But no one cares about the route that they need to take in order to get there. All right. So when you go onto your sat nav and you type in the destination, Cornwall, you're not going all the stops, where am I, which freaking services are going to stop at what point can I get there? It's none of that shit. You're just like, where is it? How long is it going to take? That's all. So, okay, 6-hour drive, let's go. Okay. For your offer, we need to make it compelling enough that they go, oh shit, I can achieve what I want to achieve. Okay. I can get what I want to get, the outcome. The time in which it's going to take is something that I'm willing to sacrifice. And then the money makes sense for what it is that I need to put skin in the game. And this is where a lot of you guys go wrong if you're too cheap and you don't really understand what you value, you're too scared to value it appropriately and all the rest of it. It's like, well, it's like, okay, cool, I can achieve this thing at your gym. I can do it within that period, but that sounds so cheap. I don't know if I believe you. It's crazy that when you actually undercharge, it devalues the perception of the value. So be careful of that. Now, if this offer is compelling, it's because we're selling them the destination. We're selling them their dream outcome. And if you as a gym owner can establish the real meaning behind what it is they want to achieve, and you create a correlation between their goals, your service, and how the two things sit perfectly, and you can bring stories of how you've been able to see the same kind of transformation in others who have joined your gym, show relatable stories, oh my word, sales becomes so easy. So let's go through a bit of a sales kind of framework when it comes to how you set yourself up for sales. First things first is we talk about the Wolf of Wall Street mindset, the pre-sales mindset. Now this can get pretty tough if you're running paid ads and you're having to do 20 outbound calls a day, if not more. And you G yourself up, you go into the sales call, it's a shit sales call. You do it again, you speak to a crackhead on the bus. You do it again, you speak to someone who can't speak English, and you're like, how does he even get this ad? You do it again, and people are like, I didn't even enter my details. And it becomes so fucking frustrating. But the big dogs who do this really fucking well, they can get into this pre-sales mindset like this, where it's like that Wolf of Wall Street, it's like, it's go time. It's go time when I go into sales mind. So when you sit down and you're ready to sell, you're getting into that mindset that you need to get into to be someone who's going to be directly challenging, empathetic, understanding, and positively be able to manipulate people right into getting them right where you need them to be. Not because you're a manipulative prick, but because you want them to win. Sales is the first step of the transformation for people, and you need to believe that. So the pre-sales mindset is really important. I often refer to my team and everyone within the Gym Owner Network. It's like, if you are so scared of rejection, if you are so scared of failure, if you are so scared of coming across desperate as a salesperson, then you know what you need? You just need an alter ego. Just create an alter ego within one of my teams. One of my guys, we call him Vladimir. And this guy, he's described himself as like he can just sell, and he doesn't care about being slapped in the face, being told. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just no fear. His real name is not that. His real name is Paddy, but we've adopted this alter ego which establishes a different being, a different way of acting. Because if Vlad gets rejected, it's Vlad. Haha, look at Vlad. We can look at Vlad and laugh. But when we put it on ourselves, we freak out. We think it's us. We think we're not worthy enough. We're not good enough. We're terrible at sales. So if you want to adopt a really cool practice to try and get away from rejection, failure, and feeling desperate, coming across desperate and needy, establish an alter ego. Think about a different name, someone you could put on a pedestal. Call yourself Jordan Belfort for all I care about. But I tell you what you should do is create an alter ego. And then when it comes to the sales, it's pretty easy. So fundamentally, when you start, you want to build some rapport. Very quickly, 2 minutes of small talk, understanding a bit of connection, how they heard about you. One of the best questions you can ask as an icebreaker. Hey Genzo, thanks so much. Great to speak to you today. Quick question before we get started. How did you hear about us? It's a great way to understand how we've been able to indoctrinate them through the marketing based on what I said earlier, right? What have they gone through from a marketing standpoint through the funnel? It allows you to understand what are the things they've seen. The next thing is like, cool, just so we're clear, I only have 20 minutes. I'm back to back on calls today. Why? Because we need to establish we're not here for a chit chat. You've got other people, it's a busy restaurant, all right? And we want to get to an outcome. So, hey, I've got 20 minutes. I want to dive deep into what it is you're trying to achieve and whether or not we can help you. Does that sound cool? It's like, great. So then you go into discovery. And I love this. The discovery phase is your investigation phase. It's the Sherlock Holmes investigation phase, trying to understand who are they? What is their story? What are they trying to achieve? And how we can try and connect the dots. What their history is, what they've spent their money on in the past, how many times they've failed, how many times have they tried to give it a go, and can we start to bring it all together? This starts to create your ammunition. Something that's really important during discovery is we need to understand who they are and start to make some correlations. From a career standpoint, what does a normal day look like? How stressed are they? What are some assumptions we can start to make? We know that when it comes to objection handling, right, we actually don't want to have to worry about doing too much objection handling. We want to do anticipation. We want to be able to anticipate objections. It's crazy. These trainings that I've delivered within the Gym Owner Network has taken gym owners who have been stuck at 8 to 10 grand months, go from 8 to 10 grand months for 5 years to now making 35, 40 grand months in towns that you've never heard of. Not because they're rich little villages, but because they established a completely different methodology to sales, which is what I'm taking you guys through now. There's a guy called CMAC. He's in a town called Lark Hall in Scotland. This guy is charging more than most gyms do down in England in small group personal training because of these kind of frameworks. If we can understand who they are and we know what the typical objections are, which is going to be, it's going to come time, money, and ask my partner, and obviously like sacrifice. Now, if it's time, we want to understand in the discovery phase who they are and call them out already. Be like, seems like you're pretty busy. How are you going to make sure that you can attend this? What's going to be different this time? And they're going to be like, oh no, this is the time. Which means that if they establish that they've made a commitment to time now, they can't use that card later when it's like, James, it sounds really great. I just don't know if I have enough time for this. If it's money, it's like, you want to ask questions related to money to be like, what have you done in the past? What have you spent money on in the past? How many times have you spent money towards this and failed? Why do you think it's going to work for you now? So all of a sudden they really start to sell the program to you before you even get to the pitch. So objection handling doesn't need to happen if you can anticipate it through great discovery. The next thing that you go into then is permission-based pitch, okay? So in order to have a great pitch, I want you to ask for permission. I want you to ask for permission. So how does this work? You get to this stage where you've done discovery, you've drawn some correlations, you've actually understood some of the objections that they might want to pull, but you've anticipated them through great questioning. And then you say, Genzo, sounds like our program is going to be a great fit for you to achieve X goal. Would you like me to share the details of our program and how it may help you? Absolute gold. Because what they then go and say is like, yes, I'd love to hear more. Then you go on and share the details. And now it's your spiel. But your spiel isn't, this is all the features. You just go, on our 6-week challenge, I'm going to give you access to a one-to-one consultation, an in-body analysis. We're going to set some goals over the 6 weeks. I'm going to give you access to my coaching team who are going to be looking after you to help you achieve your goals that you said, and we list them out, and that's it. You just show the correlation of everything they've said, what your service does, and how it's going to achieve their goals, and then it's like, and then the investment for that will be £1,495. How does that sound? and we just get them over the line. All right. Let's say at that point they go, that sounds really expensive. Let's say at that point they talk about time. Let's say at that point they talk about the partner. Fundamentally, we should have gathered enough in that discovery phase to then go, you'd mentioned that you'd already spent over $5,000 in the past on fitness things that never got you results. Whereas, as I've described, we can actually get you there with this thing. Does that not make sense? So all of a sudden you've got that thing that you can compare against. We can look at it from a lens of like, well, from a time standpoint, you said that you could, and all I need from you is just 3 hours a week. We agreed that. So all of a sudden you've now got ammunition against our objections where you can challenge them. So something that's really important is be challenging. Why? Because at this phase, this is the sales, or the sell is the first step in the transformation. Friends, I cannot stress this enough. It is the first step of the transformation. They have spent years indoctrinating themselves as to why they shouldn't, why they can't, why it won't work for them, why their body's unique, blah, 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 blah. Every bloody reason as to why they shouldn't. They need you to break through these limiting beliefs to actually go, now's the time I'm going to invest in myself and actually do it properly. And if you truly believe in your service and you truly believe in your ability to help this person, it is your job, it is your duty to take them on a journey and actually transform. This is the first step of transformation. So if you want to master gym sales, it actually comes all the way back around. It comes back around to your marketing, your social proof, how well you can get your testimonials and your members in your gym to show how good you are. If you are sitting there right now going, my product's just not that good, that's why you come to us. We're the guys that fixes your gym from a product first standpoint. We fix your product, we fix your team, we fix you so that you have an unyielding confidence in what it is you're selling. Because the real first sale in this whole journey is you. If you don't believe in your shit, why on earth would anyone else buy from you? So the first part of this whole journey is you. Then we build this incredible process that we take you through so you understand how we're going to market to attract high paying clients, how we can then take your sales skills to a whole nother level so we can, for many of you, 5, 6, 7x what you're currently selling, that we can inject another $5,000 a month in your business very, very quickly, which will completely transform your financial situation. And then give you long-term strategies to continuously grow your gym, but actually keep clients for longer. And fundamentally, that's the Gym Owner Network method. Could be yours. Hit the links below if you want to find out more. But if not, just recognize that sales is not a disgusting thing that comes across desperate and needy. It's not creepy or weird. It's your job. It's your job to get their first step in transformation. So take responsibility, take ownership, step up. Let's go.